Okay, all right, so let's talk about Kakamega Senator Cleophas Malala. He's apologized for the controversial comments that he made against the members of the National Police Service at a political rally recently. The senator had said police officers should be school dropouts who need not to be educated. He also claimed that their work is just to carry guns. I don't know.
Kazi ya askari si kushika bunduki tu peke yake. Hiyo inahitaji masomo yote kweli. Mheshimiwa Msalia, kama mtu alienda form 4 na alipata C+, tupeleke yeye aende university asome. Kazi ya askari ni hao majamaa ambao wako hapa, hao ambao waliacha shule na hawakufanikiwa kumaliza.
I feel like these crowds really lie to you, because when you're on the ground, you don't know that you've done something wrong. Yeah. Your phone just starts going off the hook after you leave the podium. But while you're there, you know, whatever insults or whatever comments, derogatory comments you make, they're there cheering you on. So you think, yes, I killed this speech, and then you get off the stage, and then everyone is calling you. So I'm imagining you have your PR team calling you, you have your party head calling, you just have everyone calling you, asking you, what did you just say? And then now the shame of having to apologize. But I feel like, you know, sometimes it happens where you can say that I misspoke, but he said a lot. He said a lot. Mariam.
I was thinking, you're absolutely right. You think you're saying a very important thing, and the crowd is urging you on, and they're giving you energy. And then now Victor from Twitter is making fun of your haircut, your children, like just because you said something dumb. I will say this though, the thing is, this is an attitude that a lot of people have, realistically, if we are being honest. And it's a reason why our police service is the way it is, at least part of it. And it's a lot of people think that, you know, policing and work in the military is like if you have no other option. So people don't think about your brightest people joining the police force. And then when you look at the other side, it's like, how come we have such problems with our police force? Why are we struggling like this? It's because this is the general attitude of the public and of a lot of politicians. He only got caught saying it in public. That was the real issue. So he apologized, of course, but when you think about it, his attitude is nothing new is nothing new when it comes to policing. Is it the right attitude? No, but it's not anything that we haven't heard before in our like hushed conversations, and you know, with family, with friends, with other politicians, too. So his only fault was that he was caught saying it in public in a time where it's not okay to say something like that.
Ah, okay. It's like when they were saying that it's not racism that's happening so much right now. It's just that it's being recorded.
Yes, and we can see it a lot more. I think genuinely, if we fix the attitude we have towards policing, that's part of, you know, the progress that can be made to make us like a happier nation, I guess.
I think, Mariam, the only thing I would differ with you on that part is when you're a public officer, and you know the kind of weight you hold in everything that you're saying, just like you now, there are things you want to say, there are things you say in your private life that you wouldn't say here because you know you hold a higher responsibility. You have no control over how people will understand it, which means you as a person, you should be very measured. So this is what I say, that I think our public officers have this thing where we don't hold them to account over what they say. It happens with politicians, it happens with those we put in office that are appointed into those offices. People just say things, and tomorrow they'll just come and say, Mimi mulini misquote poleni, and then that's just it. People are not taking responsibility for things they have said. If this is the casual manner that a senator is approaching the issue of police with, do you think they will defend the rights of these police officers in the way that they should? Nope. Do you think they will take them as seriously as they should when they are discussing national policies regarding the officers?
That's true.
They will not. They will take them just as casually as saying that wewe kazi yako ni kushika bunduki. Can you imagine that your security is just as important as your health, as the food you're eating, as the education you're having? These are some of the major sectors in this country. And the most beneficiaries of these security officers are these politicians. And yet they are the ones who are speaking like this kazi. You know, when someone wants to dharau kazi yako, hata uko daktari, someone will just be there like, sasa kazi ya kudunga tu, kutafuta veni ya mtu na kudunga pia ni kitu una nini. Hiyo si tuchukue tu vijana huku.
Mganga tu ameenda Brookhouse.
You
know, call you.
They want to demean
they will demean, and that will now influence how they're going to pay you. It will influence how they will look at the places you live in. And eventually, how that will come back to us is when they are treated like that, that's why they are the way they are to us.
You know, I had this conversation on radio the other day where I thought about these policemen who are being, you know, those insults directed to. And my focus on that video was actually on a particular police officer who was standing by the, I think, Mudavadi's vehicle. And you could tell, you could see how uncomfortable he was, how he felt. You know, the way you would undress someone in public, that's what this guy did. And the reason why I don't accept his apology as genuine is because, you know, there's a slip of the tongue. And also there is where you can actually say, this looks like this guy, okay, hapa nayo, aliteleza kidogo. But the guy kept going on.
On and on.
Talking about education, talking about how he'll, once elected or once they are elected, they should come and pile all these guys who have not gone to school into a truck. I mean, ni mizigo inawekwa kwa lori, si binadamu, and take them to, you know, for policing or something like that. It was sad.
I agree with Mariam then, you know, it wasn't a heartfelt apology, it was just where you apologized because you were busted.
And it was out
we have to take a break. I'm so sorry guys, we have to take a break. We have to get back and talk about how we spent 260 million of taxpayers' money to finance something, and Twitter had a lot to say. Find out what I'm talking about after the break.